Hi there, my name is Whitney Walpole and I'm the originator of the Core Performance Game. This video is designed for you, the sales leader, to find out a little bit about our game and why it's a must for you and your team. If you're ready and serious about taking your team to the next level of performance in regards to business results, bottom line results, and you are not only interested in but committed to having your team up its ability to work effectively together in a cohesive, aligned way, communicating in ways that work with a sense of camaraderie and got your back attitude with your team, a sense of trust, and you really want every one of your players to be personally satisfied and having fun on the job. A core performance game is for you if you're hungry for this. Now, the thing I want to really focus on is why a game. What's unique about a game compared to what you're already doing with your sales team? Well, first of all, I love sales teams. They're always hungry for the next level of success. This is inspiring and enlivening to be around them. However, my experience of most sales teams, and I've worked with many of these around the last 14 years of my coaching in business organizations, is that they're exhausted. Although they've got this drive for their success, they tend to be stressed, they feel pushed, and they often feel sort of dominated by and driven by the numbers. And we always are expecting them to take it to the next level, but it's not always that fun for them. But it's not because growth isn't fun for them. They just have lost the spirit of something in business, because business is awfully serious, as you know. So one of the things that we love about using a sales game to really motivate, inspire, and take sales teams to the next level is that salespeople take to it immediately. What we do is we create a 6 or 3 month game. That means there's a start and a stop, just like a clock in a sports game. And we have huddles, halftime celebrations, coaching. There are rules of the game. One of the cool key things we do at the beginning is kind of like a sports team at the beginning of a season, where maybe if you take football, for example, that sports team is in the preseason camp and they're looking at the season ahead, and the coach says, we're going to the Super Bowl this year. Now, obviously that team has to know itself as a team capable of doing that. But as soon as that coach or a team makes a decision to say, hey, we are that team, we don't know how we're going to make it, but by golly, we're going to do it, and you've got that kind of win in front of you, we call it a game worth playing. It pulls the team past limits, fears, resignation, cynicism, battles within their team. It pulls them to go beyond what is small about who they are and pulls them to who they are that's greater. It pulls them to their potential. And because they're being pulled by it, because they created it and it's inspiring to them, they're willing to do more for it, to engage their creative energy in whole new ways versus just to be running and performing at numbers because their boss told them to do that. So our cool launch to your game is creating that game worth playing. And I know as a sales leader, this is something that you know is important. The second piece, or one of the other important pieces about our game, is the scoreboard. Your sales team is used to managing to numbers, but I can tell you they're not used to managing to these numbers. In our scoreboard, we have you specifically design, focus on, and measure goals in 3 areas, which is why we call it core performance. Typically in high performance, you measure numbers and bottom line results, maybe client satisfaction. In a core performance game, you measure 2 other things that we know flat out are key to great successful organizations and to great people: teamwork and the ability to work in healthy, constructive ways with others. And the other thing is personal satisfaction, love, passion, and joy on the job. Both of those things long-term set a solid foundation for an organization that really works and excels. And yet in most organizations, we don't create goals around it, we don't measure to it, and we don't manage to it. In our core performance game, you as a sales team will create focused business results you want to accomplish as a team, that you'll focus on as a team as well as individuals. You'll focus on a teamwork goal and a personal fun and fulfillment work or goal on the job for each one of your players. You'll score that and track that on a week-to-week basis in our huddles. Our huddles are designed to be emotionally engaging, compact, effective, and coaching for you as to how you can really help your team to connect and to build on accountability and promises for the upcoming weeks in fun ways in each one of your weekly huddles. Another great thing about our core performance game is a halftime where you come off the field. You metaphorically do this where you come back, you look at your game, you take a drink of water, you make sure your players are healthy, and you reflect on the game. How are we doing? Are we winning or losing? Do we need to adjust strategy? You do that midway through the game so that you can actually have your last 3 to 6 weeks of the game be a higher level of play and more strategic. We know that this is smart business, we just don't take the time to do it. Our game gives you the time and requires you take that hour or two to do it right in the middle of your game. Our teams notice that they have big turnarounds when they take advantage of the structure, and it's been consistent with our clients. The final thing that I love about our core performance game is celebration. Do you know celebration isn't just good for feeling good, although it's great to have players that feel good? It's really important as a winner to claim your wins. If you're always focused on a loss, you will not excel as a winner. Winning increases more or breeds more winning. At the end of this game, you stop the game and you go, hey, what did we accomplish? We acknowledge individual players, you acknowledge your team, you take the time to enjoy the work you've done. You know that you can't have hungry salespeople that want to accomplish more and more and not give them an hour or two at the end of the game to take a deep breath and go, man, that was worth it. You know what, if you do and you have them know it's worth it and you let them know they're worth it to you, do you know what's possible in the next game that you'll play? I don't even have to tell you, it's a heck of a lot more because you're building a solid core with your players and they're going to want to excel for you and for themselves in the organization that has them know they're valuable. The other piece of the celebration is you acknowledge failures. It's really important for your team to have a mature adult relationship to failure. Teams that can look failure in the eye and call a failure and learn from it have high levels of success. They don't have to be in fantasy land and they don't have to be defensive about where things aren't working. When you can acknowledge failure and develop a muscle from learning from it, which you do in our game celebration, it makes you a better team, more strategic, focused, and stronger for your next game in the season. Find out how to play a core game. I can promise you as a sales team leader, this has got all the elements that you love: inspiration, enthusiasm, aliveness, accountability, teamwork, personal satisfaction, fun, numbers games, and a way to make sure that as you're building a strong organization, you're building it from the core so that long term you can be fulfilled with your business, contribute to others, and have a great experience of work.